Dale Carnegie is an American speaker and consultant on motivation and communications. During one of his classes on public speaking in New York City, he realized that what his students really needed was guidance on how to deal with fellow human beings. Finding no book had been written for this purpose, he wrote the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People for his students. Now, with over 15 million copies sold, people from Warren Buffett to Lee Iacocca point to its techniques as one of the secrets to their success. So how do you make people like you? You make them feel important. Start with a smile. A smile that says, I like you, you make me happy, I'm glad to see you. You'll be instantly likable and they can't help but feel happy to see you too. Then use their name. It is the sweetest sound to that person. Not only does it make people feel important, but it is like a subtle and welcome compliment. Talk about their interests. People love talking about themselves, which is why they get overjoyed to meet someone who shares the same interests as them. And then listen. To engage a person, there's no need to talk about yourself really. The best way to become more interesting is to actually encourage them to talk. And be sincere. Recognize that everyone is better than you at something and there is something to be learned from everyone. How do you win people to your way of thinking? First, never criticize or condemn or complain about others, as they won't truly listen. No matter how wrong people are, they never criticize themselves and can harbor resentment that lasts a lifetime. Never say you're wrong. You're essentially saying, I'm smarter than you. They will turtle up and defend their opinion to the death, even losing sight of the main point. But if you take a softer approach, like, I thought differently, but I might be wrong. I've been wrong pretty often, so let's have a look at the facts together. They will become more of an ally, making it easier to change their mind. Don't let emotions get the better of you. There's no point in arguing, because if you lose, you lose. But if you win, you lose, because the other person will resent you for hurting their pride, so you won't have truly won them over. As the saying goes, you can measure a person's size by what makes them angry. Let them speak their mind first, completely. Let them do most of the talking. Try honestly to see things from their point of view. They won't want to listen to your opinion if they feel they can't express theirs. And if you can find the reason why they act as they do, you have the key to influencing this person. And then be sympathetic. The majority of people hunger for sympathy. Being pitied makes them feel important, since other people are paying attention to them. Give it to them and they will love you. And dramatize your ideas. People are swayed by emotion more than they think. We need this because it allows fast decision making. Use it to your advantage. Check out Steve Jobs pulling the MacBook Air out of a manila envelope. What a showman. Get them to say yes, yes, immediately. Start by talking about what you both agree on. It builds inertia. Don't start with a no, because they get locked into defensiveness and consistency bias, and it becomes harder to unwind them because their precious pride gets in the way. Let the other person feel that the idea is theirs, because people like their own ideas better. It makes them feel smart and important, and executing them instead of someone else's gives them purpose. Appeal to the nobler motives. Take the high road. People loathe to contradict a higher mission. When a celebrity wanted to stop a picture from being published, he didn't say, "Don't print this, I don't like this picture." He said, "My mother doesn't like this." If that doesn't work, then throw down a challenge. People love games. Give them an opportunity to excel, to prove their worth. Carnegie throws one at us. In his book, he asks, if you're satisfied with the results you're now getting, why change? But if you're not satisfied, why not experiment? And if you are wrong, admit it quickly, to avoid them from bolstering up their own self-esteem by criticizing you. Say all the derogatory things they've been thinking. You'll take their thunder, then the only way to build up their ego is to show generosity by forgiving you. It will minimize your mistake. What if instead you want to change someone? The key is to let them keep their pride and encourage them. Often use praise and honest appreciation. Start with this first. It will be a nice surprise, especially if criticism is expected, and feedback will be easier to hear. Then, continue to praise every slightest improvement to inspire them to keep on improving. Then act as though what you want to improve is already one of their outstanding characteristics. Let them live up to the reputation. To calm an angry customer, you could say, "Thank you for your fairness and patience. We need more of it today. Please forgive us for our mistakes." Admit your own mistakes first. It shows you recognize the difficulty of the task and will implicitly encourage them to rise their standards to your level. Adopt the attitude that you may be doing better because you have a lot more experience. Be indirect. Use an oblique approach. It will allow the person to come to their own conclusion and gives them ownership. For example, ask questions instead of giving orders. Use, "Do you think that would work? What do you think of this?" Show them how they can improve. Your grades are looking good, and if you keep working on your algebra, it'll soon catch up. Make it seem easy to correct. Make the steps easy to do, to maintain interest and hope for improvement. Tell them that they have the right talent and fundamentals, but just need a little practice to get better. A dance instructor would say, "You have a natural sense of rhythm. You are a natural born dancer." And make them happy about doing the thing you suggest by considering the benefits that they'd receive. But to avoid sounding disingenuous, talk about what you want up front. Then talk about the benefits they'd enjoy. You would tell a child that they need to eat their vegetables so they can grow up strong and whip any bullies into order. Or when rejecting someone for a responsibility, suggest that they're too important for the role. The key takeaway is, people crave appreciation and importance. So smile, listen, remember their names, and talk about what's important to them. Influence others by helping them achieve their goals, letting them be fully aware of how it will benefit them. Avoid criticisms and arguments. Instead, be lavish with your praise, admit your own mistakes, and be indirect with your words. Better to let them come to their own conclusions. You will be met with less resistance and being around